Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny news video. We're not recording it live because we tried a couple of times today and failed due to connectivity problems, so we're just recording it offline and we'll upload this to Facebook and the YouTubes later. So this week in the shop it has been reasonably busy. Of course we were flat out on Thursday, which was yesterday, with the new mint releases. We had quite a few people coming into the shop to pick up the new releases. We got reasonable allocations this time and had a fair bit available for over-the-counter transactions. We also had a reasonable quantity up on our website, and thankfully the website performed well, so thanks for everyone who ordered. Buying in the shop this week has been quite good. We bought a nice mule yesterday, some really interesting sports cards which I haven't seen before, and some nice $50 notes, English £50 notes, just some interesting stuff, a little bit different to what we normally see. I'm going to jump over to the news, what we're going to talk about this week. So the mint releases went smoothly. As I've already said, any orders that were made online will have shipped out either yesterday or today. We've got a few stragglers hanging around and they will go out next Tuesday because it's a public holiday here in Adelaide on Monday. The rotary coloured dollar coin on a card is due for release next Thursday. If you're interested in that, do keep an eye out on our website. Catherine went to see the mint in Canberra last weekend to visit our daughter. Had a good time. The last time she's been there was almost 10 years ago, so she found it very interesting that the new refurbishment from 10 years ago is nearly worn out and they are in the process of planning a new refurbishment. She spoke to some staff members at the mint because we're mint distributors, so she caught up with some of them. Interestingly, and the last point there you can see on the slide is the idea that Australia is becoming a cashless society, with news stories yesterday suggesting that we would be cashless within 3 or 4 years. Anecdotally, someone at the Mint told us that the demand for coinage in 2020 was more than it has been for 5 years. What does that mean? It means that we'll still have cash for a while yet, and perhaps the constant stories that are in the media about us becoming cashless and I'll put my tinfoil hat on here, a bit of a effort by the banking sector to turn us cashless, because of course they want that. It means that they can skim off a nice 1.5% from every transaction, and they can shut down all their ATMs in their branches, so no wonder they want it. Now, the thing that came out in the Australia Post Bulletin yesterday, just excuse me while I get that up here, should give those of you, there it is there, it's a Lest We Forget Indigenous Military Service PNC, which Australia Post announced. It's available for pre-order, I believe, and you'll notice there that there's a little yellow circle on the left hand side of the PNC where a small Australian coin is going to go. Think about small Australian coins, think about popular small Australian coins, think about the theme of the PNC, and you probably get a bit of an inkling of what a new release popular denomination coin is coming up soon, and that's all I shall say. That's all I shall say. We had a question 2 weeks ago from Gary regarding what does uncirculated mean. So we'll just bring up that slide there. It's being used increasingly by mints around the world, and I include the Royal Australian Mint in this, as a way of describing a particular method of manufacture. In fact, I think it's mainly to separate coins from proof examples. So them saying a coin is uncirculated is their way of saying that it is not a proof, and they market proofs as a premium product, usually at a higher price than the uncirculated coins. I'm holding up here to the camera this year's Kangaroo 1 ounce coin. This is the uncirculated example, frosted fields, mirrored devices. $70. The Mint calls this the uncirculated kangaroo. This is the proof kangaroo. Mirrored fields, frosted devices, so the other way around. They are both beautifully made coins that clearly have an amount of effort put into the manufacture. The planchets are obviously polished, the dies are obviously polished, they're obviously struck more than once. Why is this one called uncirculated? Marketing. They're both non-circulating legal tender. Perhaps this is produced to slightly lower standards than this, but in traditional coin terms they're both made specially. They're not circulating standard coins, they're both special coins. Why does the confusion happen? It's because uncirculated to me as a coin collector and coin dealer means a grade. It's a grade of a coin. It's a way of describing the condition of a coin. Grading was produced to provide a common language amongst collectors and dealers to describe the condition of a coin. And if everyone's speaking the same common language, then we understand what each other is saying. So from my point of view, uncirculated is a grade. It's not to distinguish one type of coin that the Mint makes from another type of coin that the Mint makes. In my opinion, these are both what's called non-circulating legal tender. The Mint chooses to call this one a proof. They choose to call this one uncirculated, but in my opinion, they are both what would be called proof coins. They're both made specially. Okay, perhaps this one uses a slightly less stringent quality system than this one, but my point of view, marketing. That's why they call one uncirculated and one proof. So what does uncirculated really mean? It means it's the grade of a coin. It is a coin that has certain attributes. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been in circulation. This 20-cent piece here could come out of a roll and then circulate for a day in someone's pocket or whatever and still be uncirculated. So uncirculated doesn't mean it hasn't been in circulation. What does it actually mean? It means this. And credit to this should mostly go to Klaus Ford, who wrote the ANDA grading guide. This is paraphrasing what he says in the ANDA grading guide. Uncirculated coins must display no wear. Any missing design elements must be due to weakness of strike. So an uncirculated coin, technically an uncirculated coin, is a coin that has no wear. That is what an uncirculated coin is. It's not a product classification that a mint might create. It doesn't mean that the coin hasn't been in someone's pocket or it hasn't been spent. It means that it has no wear, and that's all it means. It doesn't mean anything else. What does that mean? It means that if you buy an uncirculated coin off of us here at the Purple Penny and we call it uncirculated, it means that in our opinion, it has no wear. That's what it means. And here's a few common questions that people might ask. What does uncirculated mean? Can coins in mint or security bags be uncirculated? Yes, they absolutely can. Can coins in bags be not uncirculated? So that is circulated. Can they exhibit wear? Yes, absolutely. There's no guarantee, firstly, that coins in rolls are all the same, and there's no denying that coins in loosely wrapped rolls and coins in bags can rub against each other and cause friction, and that can cause wear. Can coins found in circulation be uncirculated? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, an uncirculated coin, in summary, we'll just go back to this last slide here. Uncirculated coins must display no wear. Any missing design elements must be due to weakness of strike. What's weakness of strike? It means that the pressure of the dies was not enough to create the full design as the designer intended, or perhaps the dies themselves had worn due to the excessive number of coins that they had struck. That is weakness of strike. Understanding the difference between weakness of strike and wear is a difficult thing, but we will go over that over the next few weeks. That's an uncirculated coin. When the mint, just reminding you, when the mint says a coin is uncirculated, really what they're doing is trying to create a marketing distinction between one quality of coin and another quality of coin. Both of these coins, on a grading point of view, are uncirculated. Neither of them has any wear. This one, the mint calls a proof coin. This one it calls uncirculated standard, perhaps slightly lower quality of manufacture. Now these videos are much faster when there isn't a bunch of people on Facebook asking me questions and saying hello, so we've managed to wrap that up in 10 minutes or so. Apologies to everyone who tried to take part in the live video today. The feed kept dropping out and it was not a satisfactory experience from my point of view, so I knocked it on the head and decided to take things offline. Hopefully next week we don't have the same problems. If we continue to have those problems, then we might investigate a different way of connecting this computer to the network to stop it. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for taking part in the live video today, and I do apologise that all your great interaction was lost, and we will see you next week.